Innovations Fair 2023, Let It Grow, Greenhouse Project Collaborations with Craig Cooper, Life Skills Instructor, Michelle Joyner, Math Instructor, and Donnell Bunch, Language Arts Instructor.
So it is without further ado that I introduce to you all Craig Cooper, Life Skills Instructor, Michelle Joyner, Math Instructor, and Donnell Bunch, Language Arts Instructor from our residential campus in Alamogordo, to share about their Let It Grow Greenhouse Collaborations project.
All right, thank you very much, Kitty. So we have a greenhouse project that we do each year in Life Skills, and all the students participate. We're talking about elementary, ISP, the preschool students, the functional academic class, and also the secondary students all participate in the greenhouse during the winter. And they have different times throughout the week that they come in. And Kim is really the star of the show here. You might think, oh, I know a lot about planting because I'm the life skills instructor. I managed to kill a jalapeno plant last year. And a few weeks ago, I bought a spider plant, brought it home, and 2 days later, the cat destroyed it. And let me tell you, we had a discussion about this. We talked about, you know, I paid good money for this plant, and no, we actually didn't do that. I talked, the cat ignored me. That's how cats rule. But the EAs here, the educational assistants, they really help me with the life skills program, and they keep it running, that's for sure. All right, so we start off with each tray that the students plant. It has 10 seeds in the tray, and they're arranged in clockwise fashion so the students can easily access the seeds. And then we have dark colored plates with light colored seeds so that the kids with low vision can access them very easily. We then fill the pots to a line in the pot with the dirt, so that helps them with their measuring skills. And there's a lot of different ECC skills that come into play here. There's scanning, there's sensory efficiency. They work on their purposeful movement. Of course, their O&M skills as they have to navigate around the greenhouse. And you can imagine with different pots of soil and different pots with plants in them, they have to navigate around all those. So then, once they plant the seeds. They poke holes in the dirt with the pencil, and then they plant their seeds. Then they have to tend the plants. So they plant them, but then they're not done yet. Now they have to water them. And of course, they're watered from the bottom. And then they can track their growth. Once the plants actually come up through the soil, they can track how they're doing, and they can feel how much the plants have grown in the past week. And they can, just kind of see how it works once they pop up. The sunflowers and the tomatoes are actually staked, and then the sunflowers had to be transplanted. So the kids learn a lot of different skills. So, maybe we'll have some future gardeners here because they practice a lot of different skills. The worms, boy, the worms are a highlight for some students, that's for sure. They get to feel the worms, and the worms are kind of squirming around in their hand, and they think that's pretty cool. And then we talk to them about the fertilizer and how the worms provide fertilizer for the soil, and they aerate the soil so that the plants can grow in, the richer soil. Then we have a plant sale, and the plant sale is done, we did it right before Easter. Now, there are a lot of different things that go on with the plant sale. We sell jalapenos. We sold 3 different types of tomatoes, Shasta daisies, geraniums, basil, cilantro, aloe vera, Christmas cactus, also spider plants and sunflowers. So we had a lot of variety of plants that we sold at the plant sale. And the students learn a lot of things. Now, we practice with the cash register in life skills class, so they learn how to run the cash register and push the different buttons. They also learn customer service, those social skills, so they get to practice those. Making change. Also, the high schoolers wrote emails. So we actually had an assignment where we kind of set out the parameters. Okay, we're trying to invite everybody to come to our plant sale and buy plants. So the high schoolers actually wrote emails, and then we chose one of them to send out to all the staff on campus to invite them to our plant sale. So they had to kind of think about marketing and, how to structure a formal type email and make it appealing and try to advertise the plant sale. So again, a lot of different skills coming into play here for this one collaboration. And the aloe vera, the spider plants, and the Christmas cactus, they were propagated. I don't really know what that means either, but Kim told me to say it, and she said I would sound smart doing it. I don't think it's working. But no, propagate has to do with the root systems that they get, you can take a little bit of a plant and move it, and then the root systems take hold, and the students got to learn how that works as well. So that's pretty much the life skills portion of this. And I always say, you know, there are three kinds of people in life: those who are good at math and those who aren't. I happen to be the latter. Fortunately, our next person that's going to talk is the former. So take it away, Michelle Joyner.
Thank you, Craig. So yeah, the greenhouse is a great place where students can learn many math and science concepts and skills. When I learned what Life Skills was doing with the students in the greenhouse, I thought about how I could teach math and science. So I decided to plan some related activities during my students' math time. This year, I worked mostly with our functional academic students. I'll briefly just mention some of the activities that we did. And if you have questions about them, I can elaborate more. But so we first started out, I had the students identify what supplies is used in the greenhouse. And they made lists and they read lists, and they also identified the cost of the items that are used in the greenhouse. They were asked to do calculations on how much does it cost to buy certain items that are used in the greenhouse. We used a tactile calendar to record the days when the students planted the seeds, and then also looked at when the seeds germinated. And we compared those germination, the times that the plants actually germinated, to when the suggested time was on the packages. So we did some comparison on that. We also then got to read seed packages and found out all about the different types of information that is given on seed packages. You know, when to water, how far apart should you plant the seeds, when do you put them in the ground, just a plethora of information that is on those seed packages. We listened to fictional as well as factual stories about planting and greenhouses. We made a tactile map of a greenhouse, and the students located on that tactile map where their plants were located in the greenhouse. So those are just a few of the things that we did with the start of the greenhouse project in Life Skills. In previous years, though, I've had students measure the growth of different plant species like the jalapenos and the tomatoes, and then calculated their average growth rate. They did some comparing using single and double line graphs that they made. They used Excel spreadsheets to record their data and access that information over, you know, several months that the plants grew. You know, the list can go on as to what we can do with the greenhouse. And I guess the last thing that I kind of have to say is that the greenhouse provides a wonderful place where students can design experiments and test any hypotheses that they might have about how plants grow, anywhere from environmental conditions to types of fertilizer, types of soils. The list goes on. So I'm always looking at ways to get my students in the math class involved in the greenhouse. And I know Miss Bunch has some things to share as to how she also supported our greenhouse time. Miss Bunch?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so we have an informational reading program here that's called Achieve 3000, and it is very robust. It offers many different ways to tie things in a cross-curricular way. So of course, when I heard about the greenhouse, we started with the functional academic kids reading real world articles that are current about to expand their worldviews on, you know, gardening, and anything to do with gardening. So one of the articles we read was called Eat Your Schoolwork, which is about a group of kids in Nevada who are doing exactly the same thing they were doing here at NMSBVI. And they learned about that those kids were also marketing and growing their own crops and then also selling them. So they understood that they were not the only ones doing this type of thing. They also read an interesting article called Seeds of Survival, where they learned about the Global Seed Vault in Norway, which is kind of a, I don't want to say doomsday, but it is there for in the event of a global catastrophe, where they basically store all seeds that they can get their hands on in case we ever needed to access, the humanity as a whole needed to access those seeds. One thing they found out was that some of Native American seeds from from North America are also stored in that vault. So heirloom seeds, specifically, we talked about the Cherokee Nation, and they're storing heirloom seeds in the seed vault in Norway as well. We also learned a little bit about soil, kind of jumping off into what makes healthy soil, not just the worms, but different animals like goats and beavers, and in South America, the tapirs. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but my goal was to basically expand their knowledge of gardening and realize that it's everywhere. So that's what we did.
NMS BVI, Innovations Department, New Mexico School for the Blind and Visually Impaired, Alamogordo, Albuquerque, statewide outreach, 1-800-437-3505, www.nmsbvi.k12.nm.us, spring 2023.